What's good, everybody? You know who this is. This your boy Blackout Jones, and this is Just Shooting the Sports. I'm here to talk about the Tennessee versus New Mexico State game happening Saturday at 4:15 p.m. I want to say it's on the SEC network. I want to kind of break down that game here today. But before I even get to that, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell when you do subscribe. Follow, like, share, comment, do all those great things. In the meantime, you know how we get down here Just Shooting the Sports. Let's get it.
Survive if I let you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming up Saturday, 4:15 p.m. The Tennessee Volunteers welcome the New Mexico State Aggies to Neyland Stadium homecoming week this week for the University of Tennessee. This is also the week where they bring out the Air Force uniforms, the Smoky Gray edition Air Force uniforms this weekend as well. Now, by all intents and purposes, me personally, this is probably going to be a blowout, no question. This is going to be a game where Tennessee is able to knock off the rust, get this win by a large margin, and get ready to go to Gainesville and play the Florida Gators. Speaking of the Florida Gators, 38-7 ass whooping by the Kentucky Wildcats at Kroger Field. Kentucky pretty much put y'all in their shopping carts and checked you out of Kroger. That's what they did, 38-7. Same Kentucky team that we mollywopped. Now, I'll talk about that later when it's time to play those Gators in Gainesville. But right now, it's not about them. It's about the Tennessee Vols. Like I said before, this is a game that we should win easily. Defensively, we should play a great game against New Mexico State. They're not that good whatsoever. Yeah, granted, they're 3-6. And then we're 6-3. But we should be able to control both sides of the ball. I know defensively, I know whether we play UA, I remember we played UAB and the quarterback threw over 300 yards. I get all that. But I will say in the Oklahoma game, I saw a slight improvement. Now, that could have been just Oklahoma just being Oklahoma. But then again, maybe the defense turned not the whole corner, but just a little piece of the corner. But we won't really know that until we get down there to Florida. Albeit them getting mollywopped 38-7. Rivalry games are a tricky thing. But anyway, New Mexico's, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. No, now, should I go into the stats? Should I? Yeah, I guess I will. Logan Fife is their starting quarterback. Logan Fife, he has had a career somewhat similar to Joey Aguilar in regards to the schools that he's been to. I want to say he started out committing to not Collie. I'm about to call out and add Cal and Poly together. But he was at Cal Poly for a second. Here, let me pull up his information here real quick. Well, I want to say at Cal Poly, he committed and then he transferred. But he's been in New Mexico. Of course, he's at New Mexico State. He's been at Fresno State. He's been at Montana. He was at Fresno for 3 years. He was at Montana for 1 year. So that's really about it in regards to him. But in regards to New Mexico State themselves, also with Logan Fife, he has thrown for 2,072 yards with 11 touchdowns and 11 INTs, compared to Joey Aguilar, who has thrown for 2,737 yards with 21 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Unfortunately, Joey Aguilar is our first quarterback to throw over 5 interceptions. So that streak is over in regards to quarterbacks throwing either at 5 interceptions or below, unfortunately. Of course, Deshaun Bishop, he leads Tennessee with 690 yards. Brazel leads with 808 yards receiving. Dominic Bailey leads with 4.5 sacks. And Arian Carter has 63 tackles for the year so far. On their side of the ball, New Mexico State, their leading rusher is at 313 yards with 3 touchdowns. Their leading receiver, 503 yards with 5 touchdowns. Their leading sack leader is their defensive lineman, and which is Christensen, and 70 tackles by Mitchell. Now, Callaway is the running back for New Mexico State, and Foppel is the wide receiver, and they all lead in their stats for their respective team. I'm not going to really be too long on this video, as I've been on other videos. Reason being, I mean, hell, it's New Mexico State. I'm trying to give them as much respect as I can, just talking about their quarterback and their stats that they have. But there is some telling stats overall in regards to the University of Tennessee and New Mexico State. And there's one stat that is very telling right now, and I'm going to talk about their defense and our defense. New Mexico State is 108th in defensive third down percentage, allowing opponents to convert 42.3% of the time. Tennessee ranks 18th on offense, converting on 48.1% of third downs. So, with that being said, we should be able to move the ball at ease. We shouldn't even really be in third down, but I know it's going to happen in football. It happens. There's not really a time where you're not facing third down. But we should be able to take advantage of that in a big way. Now, in regards to Tennessee, we ranked 126th in the FBS in red zone defense, which means I can score on Tennessee, you can score on Tennessee, bumfuck Egypt over there can score on Tennessee in the red zone, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. And they're allowing opponents to score on 93.5% of their trips. Wow. Wow. Now, New Mexico State's red zone offense ranks 48th, scoring on 88% of red zone opportunities. So, with that being said, there's a possibility if New Mexico can even reach the red zone, they might be able to score on us, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. That's unfortunate right now, and that's the state that our defense is in as we speak. As far as defensively, we're still 98th overall. New Mexico State, their defense is 96th. Hell, they're better than us. Which is crazy. What else? Offensively, of course, overall, we're first in the FBS with 504.1 yards per game. Offensively for New Mexico State, they are 126th in the FBS. So, like I stated before, this should be an easy win. We should be able to come out of here unscathed with injuries. In the second half alone, we should be starting our backups. Our backups should be playing the rest of the second half. There should be no reason our starters should be playing in the second half in this game, so that the starters can get their rest and get ready for Florida. By the way, who got beat 38-7 by Kentucky. But anyway, that's nor here nor there. We'll get to Florida when it's time to get to Florida. But right now, Tennessee, I have you winning at least 56-14. That's my final prediction. What is y'all's prediction for this game? What are your thoughts? Since we've had time to relax and reset. I know some of y'all have given me your thoughts already. But for others that haven't, or who haven't even watched the video, if you have, what are your thoughts? Can we, starting this Saturday, with the win, and win the rest of the way? Because we still got two more important games in front of us. And one game that I can't believe I'm sitting here saying this. One game that the Tennessee Volunteers not only must win, but have to win. And we'll talk about that game later. But anyway, anytime I talk about that Power T behind me, Anytime I talk about that power T beside me. You know who I am, Blackout Jones, and you know where we are. Just shooting the sports. And as I always say, go Big Orange and go Vols.
Survive.